Hello everybody. I wanted to show you how IPFS can work together with Plex and Jellyfin in order to distribute your media across the internet. To set up this demo, I have installed Plex and Jellyfin on a virtual machine. There's no media on this server. It is starting off as a blank slate. All of the media libraries are empty. This represents a server that you would set in a remote location. This would be a relative's home, an office, a vacation property, anywhere you want to access your media. This is the virtual machine representing the remote Plex and Jellyfin server. This terminal on the left is how I'll be controlling the virtual machine for media servers. This virtual machine on the right represents what would be your home computer. This is where you will already have content that you want to share. I'll be controlling that with this terminal on the right. So you can think of the window on the right as a home computer with lots of storage and media, and then the window on the left is a remote machine that you're trying to network files to. First we need to install IPFS. This is the distribution page for IPFS. We can grab the link for our system and download that to our machines. We extract the IPFS files. Enter into the directory. We run sudo install on both machines. We run IPFS and it initializes the .IPFS directory. What we want to do is make a private swarm. We're going to take the command from this page and use it to generate a swarm key. We then enter the swarm key into swarm.key in the .IPFS directories of both machines. We can clear out the old Bootstrap machines from the IPFS config. We will be on a private network where this don't matter. Now we can start the daemon on the computer that we want to be the Bootstrap server. Run IPFS, setting on the Bootstrap machine to get the connection info and add this as a Bootstrap to the client. Run the IPFS daemon on both machines now and they should be connected. Now we have to prepare the IPFS mounts. On the remote machine you create the directories where they will be mounted to. Change the order of the directories. Since we want Plex and Jellyfin to be able to run the network mount, we need to edit our views config so that it is the user will have other flag. We also have to enable IPFS to allow for this option. Now we can mount the IPFS network mounted space. To reduce data duplication, we want to enable the IPFS Filestore on the home computer with the media. Now when we add a file with -- nocopy, the file will be added to IPFS and placed on the disk. We get a big book bunny. We then use the IPFS file system to create a base movie directory. This will make it easier to organize things. We then copy the hash that we got from adding Big Book Bunny to the IPFS files directory we just created. We use the IPFS file stack command to get the hash of the directory. Now we need to generate an IPNS key. We can call this one movies. Then we use IPNS to publish the media list. Using that key, we can now publish the movies directory to our movies IPNS address. We then copy that IPNS address over to the remote server. We empty the directory and create a symlink to that IPNS address. The symlink helps keep track of your media shares and allows for them to be entered into Plex and Jellyfin. Now you can see when the directory is listed that it sees Big Buck Bunny over the network. It has not downloaded the files yet. That happens when the file is requested. Now that the remote client can see the files, we can go back to our Plex and Jellyfin servers to add that symlink as a library in both. The directory will be scanned and the metadata that Plex and Jellyfin need will be downloaded. We can see it appear in the media organizers. We can go back to the home computer terminal and edit a movie. When we get the directory hash, we can copy the hash into the IPFS files movies directory like before. We then need to use IPFS filestat to get the new movies directory hash so it can be published. Then we use IPNS to publish the media list. On the remote server, you can now refresh your libraries and the new media shows up. Let's add a music folder. Like before, we copy the hash. We create a new IPFS files directory for music. Then we copy the music directory with songs into the new virtual directory. We create an IPNS key called music. Then we use that music key to publish the music virtual directory to our IPNS music address. This such address can then be symlinked into a new directory on the raw Plex and Jellyfin server. The video begins to download and play when a user hits play. The user can seek through the file. Now let's set the rest of the movies. We copy the hash once added. We copy the directory hash into the virtual directory. We can then add another movie. And likewise we copy that directory hash into our virtual movies directory. Now we can publish the movies directory hash to our IPNS address. When Plex and Jellyfin have their libraries updated, they will show the new files. Once a file is played, the data is cached until the next garbage collection. Relink videos should be from the cache and not use extra bandwidth. On a remote machine, it's only taking 127 megabytes. On a home computer with the media, it's 1.2 gigabytes of media. As we play new media on the remote machine, it will download the pieces of the file it needs. Now that we have the network set up, we can continue to admit it to the IPNS addresses and have it show up automatically on the real clients. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this helps somebody find the solution for reaching their content. Plex and Jellyfin seem to be a great match for IPFS.